is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are sports. We are Southeast.
A hearty zing boom torero from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where today at Miller Park the Brewers will roll out the barrel and the red carpet. It's game one of a four-game set. The Braves and the Brew Crew on a beautiful night for baseball. Hi again, friends. Chip and Joe. Smiles on the faces of everybody in the traveling party for Atlanta. The Braves have won 8 of their last 12 ball games, and there's a little payback due because the Brewers came to Atlanta early in the season and swept the Braves down at Turner Field. Hopefully this series gets off to a terrific start for Atlanta.
It's a little different looking Milwaukee ball club than the one we saw in late May. They've made some changes, but they've played really well at home here at Miller Park. Their team ERA is under 3. They've hit a ton of home runs in a good hitter-friendly ballpark, but they're missing 3 key cogs to their team. Smith, Lucroy, and Jeffers were all traded at the deadline, but one guy is still out in left field, and that's Ryan Braun, who's having a tremendous season. And they've got a guy at third base in Villar who's tied for the league lead in stolen bases. Got to keep him off the sacks.
So while the Brewers are swinging the bats impressively, especially here at home, how about the Braves? Last 12 games, this team's hitting over 300, 10 or more runs in 6 of those 12 games. And, Joe, it's not just Freddie Freeman getting it done at the plate.
No, it's not. And since the All-Star break, the Braves have raised their team batting average more points than any team in baseball. How about that? Starts with this guy, Ender Inciarte, on an 18-game hitting streak. He's hitting 380 over that stretch. Eric Ibar has returned to normal. This is the Eric Ibar the Braves expected to see when they acquired him from the Angels. And all of these guys that you're seeing here were part of what the Braves needed to have happen around Freddie Freeman and Nick Markakis. It couldn't just be those 2 guys. We were begging for other people to chip in. Well, those first 2 guys and Adonis Garcia have done a great job. And what about the call-up of Anthony Rucker? In his games, 12 games with the Braves, 6 RBIs, a 371 average. He's hitting extra base hits. He's doing a great job behind the plate. But offensively, this is what the Braves needed around the middle of their order. They're getting it done there, and as a result, they're scoring a lot of runs.
So, Paul Byrd, I know you are a great Major League pitcher. I don't know if even you could get out this Braves lineup as hot as they are 1 through 8.
I appreciate the kind words. No chance, and some sun just started shining, you know, through the dome here on the side of my face. I feel like I'm supposed to say something important. Yeah, I'm going to listen up. Matt Kemp. I'm still thinking about his article in the Players Tribune where he said that when he stepped in the box here in Atlanta, he'd have a renewed sense of love for the game, be the first one here, the last one to leave. He's held true with that to a man in that locker room. They all say that even if he goes 0 for 4, his presence in the lineup is definitely felt, getting everybody else better pitches. Here's his thoughts minutes ago.
I got here, I looked to see how they were doing, and they've been hitting the ball well. And I just wanted to come in here and then just, be one of those guys that help the team in any way that I can to get this thing going. Guys are getting hot. Everybody's hitting pretty well, and of course we want to, carry this over into this Milwaukee series.
I think the big thing I've been most excited about this team is our base running lately. I feel like guys are taking some chances, are being more aggressive. We're going first to third. We went first to third a lot in Pittsburgh, something that I think is very important that a lot of people don't do. And we put pressure on the other team. And when you do that, first to third, and all of a sudden you're hitting, and you got first and third with 1 out compared to first and second with 1 out. It's a big difference. You feel like you just got to get something to the outfield, and a lot of times that results in a hit and keeps moving the runner. So I think it's something we've been doing really well.
Great catch that right there by Frenchie, man. I got to tell you what, guys. I want to talk about the bashing. I want to talk about the great pitching, the 102 miles an hour fastball by Cabrera. I forget about base running being so important, probably because I wasn't on base very much. So great catch by him. Braves clicking on all cylinders. Back to you guys.
All right, Paul, thank you. Get you some sunscreen. The Braves, one of the best stories in Major League Baseball these last 2 weeks. When we come back after a break, Jerome and BJ will take us on a wraparound around the major leagues. Big day for Ichiro Suzuki. That's one of the major stories. And Joe and I will join you again from Milwaukee for Game 1 between the Braves and the Brewers.
Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day.
We're back in Milwaukee, minutes away from Game 1 of this series, Braves and Brewers baseball. Tonight, an interesting pitching matchup. Let's start first with the man going to the mound for the Braves, young Rob Whalen. Makes his second big league start, and hey, he's got a 4-inning scoreless streak working.
Yeah, he does. I'll tell you what, though, it was a little touch and go in his first inning, though. He got knocked around pretty hard by the Pirates. First time out for the poor kid, man, it was rough. Batted around at the Pirates, 4 runs, including a homer. They were on him, let's say. After that strikeout right there, he walked off the mound with a little grimace on his face. He was a little ticked off. He went back out, like you said, and pitched great. Saved the bullpen, and not only that, his teammates came back and got him a win. So let's hope tonight he gets off to a better start.
And speaking of pitching great, the man he'll oppose is Zach Davies. He might turn out to be the Brewers staff ace. He started slowly, but he's riding a hot streak.
They stole him from the Orioles last year at the trading deadline for Gerardo Parra. This guy is a Greg Maddux lookalike. He's 6 feet, 155 pounds. Soaking wet, I might add. Doesn't throw hard. He's 90 to 91 with an outstanding changeup. He's very athletic. He'd lost his first 3 starts, and since then, he is on fire. And since May 1, he's been one of the best pitchers in baseball. Braves get their first look at him tonight. His last 12, there are some outstanding numbers with 64 strikeouts.
So that sets things up nicely for you before Game 1. It's time for a brat, don't you think? And
2.
also time, 2, I like that. Time for a Braves win as well. Game 1 of the 4-game series coming up. We'll get things started for you from Miller Park right after this.
Atlanta Braves baseball is sponsored by your local Ford dealer. And Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience sports.
Man, it is a beautiful night for baseball in Milwaukee. Not a cloud in the sky. The roof is open. Very comfortable temperatures. Low humidity. What a great change for the Braves from our days back in Atlanta and in St. Louis, where the weather was hot and muggy. Hopefully this will be a refresher for everybody as the Braves continue on with their second stop on this three-city trip. Joe, they run into a tough hombre. Zach Davies is the man on the mound for Milwaukee tonight.
Yeah, he's a slightly built guy, 6 feet 155, out of Mesquite, Arizona, 23 years old. But take a look at this. Since May 1, minimum 10 decisions. He, Clayton Kershaw, and Aaron Sanchez have the best records at 9-1. That's good company, better than Strasburg and Cueto. And again, he's a guy that hits spots. He was a low draft pick, 26th round by Baltimore. Came over here in a trade at the deadline last year for Gerardo Parra. His fastball, 90 to 91 with an outstanding changeup. And I'm told that his fastball moves the same way his changeup does. So if it's darting a little down and away, it's hard to tell which is which.
So that'll be a challenge for the Braves lineup, a lineup that's averaging a 300 mark over the last 12 games with 9 homers in that stretch. NCRT and Ibar still with their long hitting streaks at 18 and 12 games respectively. Freeman and Kemp 3rd and 4th. Nick Markakis has 15 hits in his last 11 games. Adonis Garcia had a terrific series in St. Louis. Beckham, Pierzynski, and Whalen 7th, 8th, and 9th tonight. Braves are playing good baseball. Milwaukee's playing good baseball at home. This should be a fun series. We'll see how it gets started here tonight. And it is Ender Inciarte with an 18-game hitting streak and a .370 average during that stretch. 27 hits in his 18 games. And a line drive towards center. Keon Broxton drifts back, 1 pitch and 1 man out. Here's Eric Ibar, 12-gamer for Eric. He's batting .395 in that stretch. I think one of the keys of this series will be, can the Brewers catch the baseball? That has been an ongoing problem for them this year. The Brewers have committed 92 errors. And a strike for the Braves shortstop. Mark Ripperger, by the way, is the home plate umpire tonight.
Lack of defense sure puts a lot of stress on your pitchers to not make mistakes. Orlando Arcia, their young shortstop, just turned 22, will certainly help them defensively. Moving VR to 3rd, also a help.
Quickly 0-2 for Eric. And a bouncing ball to first. Chris Carter's got it on a big hop. Top spin roller is the second out of the inning. Davies coming off a win in San Diego. 2 runs, 6 hits in 5 2/3 innings. He's allowed 2 or fewer earned runs in 5 straight games. That'll be put to the test tonight. Here's Freeman, 2 outs, nobody aboard. Roof panels open, lights are on, trying to help minimize the shadows. A lot of bright sunshine across that batter's eye as this one's hit a mile high to right. And Hernan Perez is underneath, and he's got it. And that retires the side. Davies got 3 outs on 6 pitches. Rob Whalen to work at the bottom of a scoreless first. To make his second big league start, Joe, let's hope the Butterflies aren't as big as 747s and they're normal sized as he takes on the Brewers.
Yeah, I think he probably got that out of his system based on the way he pitched after the first inning against the Pirates. These are his minor league numbers. And a career opponent average of 212. Are you kidding me? That's awesome. He is 22 years old, 6'2", 220 out of Haines City, Florida. His Ford Keys tonight. Number 1, the leadoff hitter. VR, got to keep him off base. His recent road trip, 11 for 23 with 8 walks. He's stealing bases in clumps and pitch to contact. That's one thing Tom Glavine talked about in his start against Pittsburgh, that it looked like he was trying to pitch away from contact, and that didn't work.
So VR, Arcia, and Ryan Braun, 1, 2, and 3 on the lineup card for Milwaukee. To look at the rest of the Milwaukee lineup, Scooter Gennett is their cleanup man.
And it turned out that when Matt Kemp got to left field, he realized the sun was right in his eyes. So he was trying to get the attention of the bench to get him some shades.
That's one of the difficult features of this ballpark in the early hours, and they do start the game about an hour earlier than normal on Monday nights. And afternoon games, all that glass past the Brewers dugout makes it real tough. So the first pitch from Whalen is downstairs to VR. 1 ball, no strikes.
It's tough enough to see when the sun is, when you're in the sun field, but when the home plate area is in a dark shadow like it is right now, it's almost impossible to pick the ball up.
VR had a great series in Atlanta. He had 5 hits, including a homer. He knocked in 3 runs. And that just missed. 2 balls and a strike. And had some sink to it. 2 and 2.
Real good sink at 90. Because the Braves and the Brewers don't play that often, Braves fans don't know a whole lot about VR other than the pretty much kicked the Braves in Atlanta, but he is a solid player.
Full count pitch. Struck him out. VR is retired, and the leadoff man is set down by Whalen. Excellent start. 1 away.
Again, good sinker. Inside part of the plate, right over the top of it with the swing.
Here's Orlando Arcia, 21-year-old shortstop. Second best prospect in the Brewers organization, according to Baseball America.
Out of Venezuela.
Yep.
The hotbed for middle infielders these days.
Hit to second and scooped up by Gordon Beckham. Arcia is the second out. And here's Ryan Braun. This is how you want to face Ryan Braun. Nobody on, because on their last road trip, Braun had a lot of guys on and he cleaned up. He had 6 hits in their 2-city trip. 4 of them were homers. He knocked in 10 runs, including 7 RBIs Saturday against the Diamondbacks. And he hit a couple of home runs down at Turner Field.
And talking with some Brewers folks, the deadline talks between the Braves and the Brewers were very serious about Ryan Braun coming to Atlanta. That was prior to Atlanta making a deal for Matt Kemp.
Pop fly over the Brewers dugout, foul and out of play. Well, the Brewers in the same spot as the Braves. If you're going to rebuild, you might as well go all in. And the difficulty for Milwaukee is Braun's contract runs through the 2020 season with a mutual option for the 2021 campaign. At very big dollars. He's 32 years old. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Good off-speed pitch from Whalen. Good start for him tonight. He just had that look of really being ticked off after that 4-run inning against the Pirates and really settled in and just pitched after that.
Tipped and caught by A.J. Pierzynski. And how about that first inning for Rob Whalen? His 5th consecutive scoreless frame in the big leagues, including 2 strikeouts here in the Brewers' first. We head to the second, no score.
Miller Park. Matt Kemp will lead off for the Braves here in the second inning, and always a lot of controversy between these two players, Ryan Braun and Matt Kemp, over the 2011 season. You look at the numbers, you make the comparisons if you want. Matt Kemp also, I think, had 39 stolen bases that year. Braun won the MVP, and as we know, it was tainted.
It was, because in 2013, Braun was suspended 65 games for violations of the basic agreement and the joint drug prevention and treatment program. And that's another, I guess, question when you talk about acquiring Ryan Braun. What exactly are you getting at this stage of his career? He's had his share of injury problems this year. Most runs he's driven in is 84 since the 2011 and 2012 seasons. As Kemp swings and misses, didn't get it. Davies has his first strikeout. 4 up, 4 down for him. He's tough and he's rolling. 1 away.
Again, he's just a little bitty guy out there. He looks like the bat boy ran out to put the rosin bag on the mound. It turns out he's going to stay and pitch.
I wonder if, what did Tim Hudson weigh when he was a rookie? Is he about this guy's size? Tim might have been a little bigger.
Tim would tell you he was a little bigger. Probably was. Yeah.
Nick Markakis, the batter. He's swinging a hot bat and takes a strike.
Maddox couldn't have been a whole lot bigger than this when he broke in with the Cubs.
Oh, 2.
See, that's his fastball. And when that two-seamer, when he runs it away from left-handed hitters, it's the same trajectory, if you will, as his changeup doing the same thing.
Swing and a drive deep toward right field. That ball's at the track. That ball is gone. Nick Markakis turns and burns a long homer, and the Braves jump in front.
Nick has been driving the ball so well. He made a slight adjustment with his hands, moved him back in his stance a little bit, and got to that pitch. That was supposed to be in on him a little bit, and it wasn't enough. Number 7 for Nick.
And the 10th homer hit by the Braves in their last 13 games. So Rob Whalen enjoys a 1-0 lead. And third baseman Adonis Garcia is coming up. (2-0). 7 homers, 60 RBIs for Markakis now. And that's a little low. Adonis has a hit in 22 of his last 26 games. But I thought his double play turn in St. Louis yesterday was one of the best of the year, and certainly a huge play in that game against Adam Wainwright and the Cardinals.
Yeah, at a crucial time. You're right.
Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Back up the middle. Scooter Gennett to his right. And that takes care of Adonis. 2 outs. And Gordon Beckham will be the batter.
Davies last year was 6-8 in AAA with both the Orioles and the Brewers. 6-8 with a 3.30 ERA. They called him up late in the year and he got some action in, went 3-2. So we got that out of the way, the nerves out of the way, and has pitched really well after a slow start.
He's from Washington, right?
Born in Washington, grew up in Arizona.
There's another slightly built right-hander from the Washington State area who turned out to be a pretty good pitcher, Tim Lincecum. Not exactly a 6-footer by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, that's a good comparison size-wise.
Ground ball towards second. Jeanette's got that. Nick Markakis with a long homer to right with 1 out. His 7th, his 60th RBI, and the Braves are playing long ball in the last 2 weeks. It's fun to watch. Atlanta has an early lead.
Nothing, bottom of the second after the Nick Markakis home run. Guys, I was surprised. Parkfactors.com, they factor in wind, they factor in altitude, field distance, everything. Number 1, Coors Field, the best place to hit in the league. I was very shocked to learn that Miller Park is number 2. This is from years 2010 to 2016. Edging out in Cincinnati, Great American, another great place to hit. But guys, I've got to tell you this. I don't want to jinx anybody, and there's no guarantees. But as a former pitcher, Rob Whalen, I have not seen these kinds of sinkers in a long, long time. This young man is off to an incredible start. I'm blown away at the pivot and the drop on that sinker.
Yeah, and it looked heavy too, Paul. You know, like bowling ball type sinkers.
It is. And guys, when you're in a park where the ball flies, there's no better pitch to throw than a heavy sinker.
So Whalen's got 1 ground out, 2 strikeouts, and he's got Scooter Gennett, the Brewers cleanup man, digging in. 9 homers, 36 knocked in for the Brewers second baseman. And slashed foul quickly. It's 0-2. Nice catch. Swing and a miss. 3rd strikeout for Rob Whalen. He gets the leadoff man for the 2nd consecutive frame.
Boy, is that an advantage in this ballpark. That was a breaking ball and a beauty at 78 miles an hour.
That'll bring up Hernan Perez, another native of Venezuela. Brewers got him off waivers from the Tigers last June. Strike after strike after strike. And Perez behind in the count. And a base hit to right is the first of the game for Milwaukee. So Perez with a clean hit. That'll bring up slugging first baseman Chris Carter.
He's another guy you got to keep an eye on at first base. 19 out of 22 in stolen bases for him.
Well, Carter is your prototypical all or nothing kind of hitter. He's got 25 home runs. He's knocked in 61 this season. But the number for Carter that pops out, strikeouts. Swing and a fly ball hammered down the left field line. That's going to be foul by Carter. Chris has 372 at bats this year. He has struck out in 141 of them. But if strikeouts don't matter, keep an eye on Carter. He's got 46 extra base hits.
3 for 15 in Atlanta with 8 strikeouts.
In fact, strikeouts all the way up and down this Brewer lineup. They are averaging almost 10 strikeouts a game as a team. And Mr. Carter leads that parade.
It's that other 62% that worries pitchers.
Right. And that stayed high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Carter got to the big leagues with the A's in 2010. Spent the last 3 seasons in Houston. Where you know his power played with the Crawford boxes in left.
Put up some big numbers there.
Yeah, 29 homer year, a 37 homer year, a 24 homer year. His highest batting average in Houston was .227.
It's a lot darker here than it appears on your television set. Being able to open up the lens on the cameras to let more light in makes it appear to be a little brighter for the hitters, but it's really dark.
2 balls and a strike. Perez leads from first, and that missed inside. And now a dangerous pitch. 3-1 your count. Inside corner, full count.
Looked like an 87-mile-an-hour cutter. And he threw inside.
Perez leads. Will he take off with a full count? No. And it's strike 3 inside corner at the knees. 4 strikeouts for Waylon. Carter caught looking. And what a comeback from a 3-1 count.
Good pitch. A lot of movement again. AJ wanted that on the outside corner, but it came back to basically the middle or inner third of the plate. And the reason a guy with 19 stolen bases didn't go 3-2 is because Carter strikes out a lot.
And this is Keon Broxton, the Brewers' young center fielder. He too has the strikeout bug. 95 at bats. He struck out 45 times.
But he's coming around, according to the Brewers. He's made an adjustment on his own. He had a real bad hitch in his swing where he started with his hands about chest high, and he'd drop his hands and get in trouble. Well, he's starting with his hands down there now, a little bit Eric Davis-like. And from there, he's kind of going up, and he's been hitting the ball real hard.
One ball, one strike.
The Brewers have really concentrated their draft. There's Darnell Coles, their hitting coach. They've really concentrated their draft on up the middle, catchers, middle infielders, center fielders, and they've got a ton of good center fielders, I'm told, in their system. Broxton's the one that surfaced first, and he's going to try to hold them all off.
Well, it looks like they've got the left side of their infield taken care of with Arcia and VR. Scooter Jeanette's their second baseman. Got Braun, the banger, in left.
Well, if they've got a bunch of catchers in their system, that's a lot of baseball wealth right there these days.
1 ball, 1 strike for Keon Broxton. Takes a little low. It is different seeing the Brewers without Jonathan Lucroy. Terrific catcher. But they jump-started their rebuilding program. They tried to trade him to Cleveland, but as you remember, Lucroy had a no-trade clause that included the Indians. And the Texas Rangers came in, and with about 30 minutes left in the trade deadline, had a package that Milwaukee was willing to take. Runner goes on a delay, and Beckham got there late. So Perez steals his 20th base, and it's a 3-1 count. That looked awfully close.
Yeah, it did. The tag was made by Gordon as he's running by, and it was a delayed steal. I'm not sure Gordon got the tag on him. Good throw by AJ. Fanned on the tag.
So Perez in scoring position for Broxton, who has a 3-1 count. A little looper into right. That's in for a hit. Perez around third. Markakis loads up. His throw to the plate is high, and into second is Broxton. Our game is tied 1 apiece.
That makes Broxton 7 for his last 14. Just fought that off and dumped it into right. Nick came up throwing, but overthrew the cutoff man by a large margin. That allowed Broxton to get into second base, but the stolen base is what looms big here.
So the 10th RBI for Broxton brings up Martin Maldonado, the now #1 catcher for Milwaukee. He's knocked in 9 men. And takes a strike. So Perez with a hit, a stolen base, and a run scored. His first time up tonight. And back to the screen. It's 0-2. The Brewers had a pretty good idea of what they had in Maldonado. Remember, Jonathan Lucroy's had concussion problems. Maldonado started 19 of their last 24 games last year.
He's been around. He'll be 30 years old in a few days.
Ball, 2 strikes. Maldonado out of Puerto Rico. Was originally signed with the Angels. Brewers got him as a free agent in 2007. You'd like to get Maldonado and force Davies to lead off the third for the Brewers.
Yeah, Martin didn't have as good a road trip as some of his teammates. It's 2 for his last 15.
Full count.
Got under both of those last 2 pitches. Trying to force them to do something instead of just using his natural release, stay on top of the ball and get that sinker to work.
Broxton can fly. He's at second. Payoff pitch to the Brewers catcher, Martin Maldonado. And he struck him out. Whalen strikes out the side. He has 5 strikeouts, folks, through 2 innings. The Brewers tie the game on a Broxton hit. We go to the third. the first 20,000 fans in attendance Thursday, August 18th get the one-of-a-kind Andrew Jones The Catch bobblehead. Don't miss it. Visit Braves.com/tickets and get your seats today. Rob Whalen has 5 strikeouts in his first 2 innings. Nick Markakis has hit a home run for Atlanta. And now we head to the 3rd inning with A.J. Pierzynski set to lead things off against Zach Davies.
Sure, he feels a little better after giving up the homer to have his teammates tie it up for him right away. See a shift on defensively by the Brewers for A.J. and this Milwaukee team shifts more than any team in baseball except for Houston.
Ground ball right into that shift, and from the outfield grass, Scooter Gennett makes the play, 1 out. 3 straight assists for Gennett, and there's 1 away in the 3rd for Rob Whalen, who's 0 for 1 with a sacrifice. Folks, it was a happy flight from St. Louis to Milwaukee. The Braves were ecstatic at the way they swung the bats in the last 2 games of that series, and to beat the St. Louis Cardinals in their ballpark in a series is something that has not happened too often for the Braves. The last time Atlanta took 2 out of 3 from the Cardinals was 4 years ago. They scored early and late in game 2. They jumped all over Adam Wainwright and then finished off the Cardinals, who are frankly reeling after their last 2 series.
Well, go back to the Pittsburgh series when the Braves won the last 2 games of that 3-game set at Turner Field. Game 2, the Braves scored 8 runs on 15 hits. Game 2, 5 runs, 9 hits. Then they got shut out by Jaime Garcia and bounced back with 2 huge gains again.
To the left side, Villar's got it, and his toss across is in time. There's the 2nd out. So this is the 7th game that the Braves, Joe, have had Matt Kemp in the lineup. I'm guessing it's too soon to see if the other players above Matt Kemp and below Matt Kemp in the lineup are being pitched differently, but certainly the numbers suggest that something different is happening because the ball's flying out of the ballpark, the team's hitting 300, they're scoring runs at about a 5-run-a-game clip since Matt joined the team.
Well, another part of that too, Chip, is just the way the lineup is constructed and how much deeper the lineup goes now. Instead of batting cleanup, Garcia's batting 6th. That's just one example. AJ or Recker are hitting 8th, you know, and Recker has been swinging the bat great. AJ has been on a hot streak. Hitting is contagious.
Inciarte grounds his 3rd pitch of the night to the 2nd baseman. Davies getting a ton of ground balls too. And he just worked a perfect 3rd inning. He'll lead off for Milwaukee, still tied up.
Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day.
1-1 as we head to the Brewers' third inning. Rob Whalen has 5 strikeouts through 2 innings so far, and he will start this inning with his mound opponent, Zach Davies. Popped up over the Brewers dugout and into the second row of seats. Strike 1.
Throwing that breaking pitch right at the right-handers and kind of sweeping it to the plate.
Ooh. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Little roller out towards second. Beckham's got it. And there's the first out. Let those go, Rob. You got 4 guys behind you on the infield. And back to the top end, VR, who struck out to start the game. VR started 99 games at shortstop. Tonight's his 6th game at third base. That's because Arcia's come up from the minors. And let's take it a little low. The move hasn't affected him at all. He's got 11 hits in his last 21 tries with a homer and 3 RBIs.
They got him from Houston in November of last year.
A .391 on base percentage for VR. That's a little lower than I thought, because here's a man that's gotten on base in 91 of 105 games this year, but 119 strikeouts. Yeah. Part of the problem.
He's twice led his league in the minor leagues in stolen bases, and leading the National League in stolen bases this year, tied with Billy Hamilton.
Strike 3 on a sinker. Whalen's got 6 of them. 2 outs, and VR in disbelief heads back to the Brewers dugout.
You know you got it working when every guy goes back to the dugout with his head cocked like he got ripped off somehow. Look at that ball go down. Great pitch. Good job by AJ to make it look even a little better.
So here's Arcia. Funny moment for Arcia. His first major league hit came on the just completed West Coast trip for Milwaukee. And the funny part of it was it involved a former Brewer, Gene Segura. He got a base hit, and Segura grabbed the baseball and was going to do, as all players do nowadays, throw it in the dugout so that Arcia could put it on the mantle. The problem was time hadn't been called. So when the ball got dumped into the dugout, Arcia got 2 extra bases. So he ended up at third base with a single for his first major league hit.
Sounds like Segura was in a bit of a hurry to make sure he got that souvenir.
Little roller, left side, Adonis. Strong arm, good play, and that takes care of the Brewers in the third. Boy, he's picking and grinning at the hot corner on this road trip. 3 up, 3 down, 4th inning. Tied up.
Is sponsored by your local Toyota dealers, Let's Go Places, the Georgia Lottery, and Zaxby's Indescribably Good.
Great monument honoring the 1957 world champion Milwaukee Braves, who played at Old County Stadium, which used to be in what is now a parking lot here outside of Miller Park. Neat place to watch a game. A lot of memories for Braves fans, young and old, not only here in Milwaukee, but Atlanta too, and certainly our friends, the Johnson family.
Tons. You're right. Sorry to interrupt you, Chip. But thanks to guys like Ernie and Lois, tons of Braves fans still here that remember their Milwaukee Braves. That's a great monument out there.
Very nice. No balls, 2 strikes for Eric Ibar. Eric bounced out to first his first time and slashes that one foul. And he'll stay alive. Still 0-2. Good eye. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I was asking you walking in today, did you like playing at County Stadium in your days?
I liked hitting there. Good place to hit. It was a beautiful green pasture, and I mean that in a very appreciative way. It was always well manicured.
Strike 3 inside corner. Got Ibar looking. Second strikeout for Davies. 1 up, 1 down.
Always had deep grass. It was an old stadium, you know. By the time I played there, it pretty much fulfilled its usefulness. So the Miller Park, when it came along, was great timing.
Freddie Freeman bats. Davies has set down 6 straight. Well, the best part of this park is the roof.
Yes.
Weather here in the early months, still very chilly, very raw, a lot of rain. And with the short summers they have, nights like this are glorious treats.
They have great summers up here. Temperature wise, it's just so pleasant. Such a pleasant thing today, like you said, by comparison to Atlanta and St. Louis and the heat and humidity.
Freeman scorches one toward left center field. That's going to get down. Braun will cut it off shy of the track. Freeman's going to try. Throw to second is going to be not in time. Freddie got back. He overslid the bag. He dived back safely, and Paul Nowert ruled him safe as the Brewers tried to get him diving back to the bag.
Well, he took Nowert out, but Freddie got a late start out of the box. That was part of the problem on the follow-through. So the dive there by Scooter, and then the long arm of Freddie able to get back. Great slide avoiding the tag there. Look out, Paul. And his hand barely got back to the base.
Milwaukee's going to take a look at this.
As Paul's trying to figure out how he can keep his eye on the play. Oh, I mean, that is barely there. And kept it on there.
Paul Nowert got his polka lessons in at the second base bag. And are the Brewers going to challenge the call? Apparently they didn't see enough to contest the call of safe at second. So Freeman with a double is aboard in front of Matt Kemp. Matt struck out swinging to start the second. 1-1 game. We're in the fourth.
.90 fastball there. Might top out at 91. But it's his element of surprise with his command. He only had walked 29 batters coming in 111 innings. I've wanted to call him Kyle Davies all night.
Right?
I probably have and didn't even notice it.
Not yet. Zach Davies readies for a 1-1 pitch. And a little roller past Carter and through for a hit. Here comes Freddie rumbling around third, and he's going to score to put the Braves in front. Matt Kemp guides one through the right side. He drives home his 5th run as a Brave, and it's now a 2-1 Atlanta game.
I don't know if Matt was trying to do that, but it looked like it because he had that little inside-out swing on an inside pitch. And here's a case where the shift really beat the Brewers as Carter's not able to knock that ball down. Well done by Matt.
Freeman and Markakis have scored the runs. Nick drove himself in with a solo homer. Kemp drives home Freeman. It's 2-1. And way high, 1 ball, no strikes. Just missed. For Nick Markakis, our Georgia lottery hitting the jackpot.
His numbers against Milwaukee in his career outstanding. Hit his first home run tonight, as you see, but a great on base percentage, a lot of extra base hits.
Well, as I mentioned, a sign of how well the Braves are swinging the bats. They're facing a man who's given up 2 or fewer earned runs in each of his last 5 starts. In fact, 7 earned runs total allowed by Davies in that stretch. They've got 2 in their first 3 innings plus tonight.
Well, he did there for just a second against Nick what Whalen did last inning, and that is all of a sudden try to hump up and throw harder and miss upstairs. Maldonado chewed him out a little bit, came back with a nice off-speed pitch. And I say off-speed, he just backed off a little bit. He had good movement and got a call.
Kemp a short lead at first. 3-1 pitch. Is a strike. Markakis was ready to head to first. This will be interesting. It doesn't strike out an awful lot. Would that the Braves put Kemp in motion here with 1 in and 1 out.
And that's one part of Matt's game that has changed. He has no stolen bases, no caught stealings.
He is going. And Markakis rolls one towards second. He had to hesitate as Jeanette made the pickup, the feed to second, and the double play. The Braves get a run on a Matt Kemp single. A double play ends the inning. Freddie Freeman was able to get back to second. He overslid the bag, took out the umpire, but made it back home to put the Braves in front. Live streaming sports service delivers everything you've come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. That includes a free subscription to At-Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Rob Whalen back to work with Ryan Braun leading off. Braun struck out to end the Brewers' first. Freddie Freeman's flying feet and the fickled finger of fate allowed the Braves to take a 2-1 lead. And a little chopper. That's going to be tough. Garcia, bare hand try, fires to first, but Braun legs it out. He made that closer than probably it should have been. Infield hit.
Yeah, he was playing deep. Had a long way to go for this one. Heck of a play, though, to get it, as you said, that close. First leadoff man to reach.
And keep an eye on Braun. He likes to run as well. With 13 steals. Here's Scooter Gennett, who whiffed his first time up. Whalen's got 6 strikeouts in his first 3 innings.
Brewers have an 18 steal lead on the #2 team. And that was coming into play tonight. 116 steals. San Diego had 98.
I like it. It's such a beautiful part of the game. It does put a lot of pressure on the opponent. And they've been largely successful. They've only been caught 34 times this year. So it's a nice ratio. 2 balls and a strike. It's outside for Scooter Gennett. You mentioned Billy Hamilton. He and the Reds in 3rd place. Pittsburgh and Washington round out the top 5 in the National League. He swung. 2-1. Back to the mound. Whalen's got it. Second one. Perfect feed. Double play.
Perfect feed is right, Chip. Sometimes for the pitchers, when they're having to throw on the slope of the mound, it might be a little difficult, but a perfect throw to Ibar, who is playing up the middle already.
That clears the bags and brings up Hernan Perez, the first Brewer with a hit. He also scored a run in the second inning.
Hey, Paul Bird.
I'm here, Joe.
That comebacker to the mound, sometimes pitchers can get a little anxious, a little jittery, especially on the front slope, but he made a good play.
It's like getting a big present at Christmas, Joe. You want to open it right away, but you got to set your feet, little shuffle, give time for that infielder to get there, and then it's really hard to be throwing a 92-mile-an-hour sinker and then throw a straight fastball over the bag at, say, 80, because you don't want to burn the guy out. So he did a really nice job gathering himself and giving a good throw to second.
I'd never thought of it that way, Paul. That's an excellent point.
A lot of people say we're not athletes because we overthrow bases, Chip, but sometimes there's little things that are hard to do that, you know, you kind of don't think about. And I'm joking, but of course, you know, when you throw a power sinker and then you got to change your grip and throw a straight four-seamer over the bag, it's not as easy as it looks.
That'll play foul for Hernan Perez, who's starting his 50th game. He's also an infielder by trade. In fact, made his first career start in the outfield in June against the Mets. They're moving guys all over the place.
Well, if you hit, you'll find a place to play for you somewhere.
Grounded toward Adonis. To his left, stumbled, got to his feet, and had time to throw a strike.
Wow. Fancy footwork there. Good recovery.
He's going to hear about that from his teammates as he makes a nice play to retire the Brewers. Way ahead of the fifth. Whoopsie. 2-1 Atlanta leads. Well, how many times do you see it? A man almost falls down at third base, leads off the next half inning.
It's funny you mentioned that falling down part. Our ace Cub reporter, Kim Hudson, has checked in from Wichita.
Oh, yeah?
On the Kansas Stars.
2-0 pitch. Ripped down the right field line. Did he keep it fair? It's hooking. It's hooking. It's hooking. It is foul. Garcia just missed a home run the other way.
And that was going right at the pole. Just a little bit of space down there in the right field corner. Toby Keith, the singer, threw out the first pitch to Roger Clemens tonight.
Oh, really?
Roy Oswalt started for the Kansas Stars.
VR at third from his shoe tops. Wow.
And as I said, speaking of falling down, Lance Nix, the Stars are playing my Liberal BJs tonight. Liberals up 2-0 when Lance Nix actually tripped and fell and 2 runs came.
Oh, man. Now, the Stars had a great first game, right?
Yeah, 8-0.
8-0. And Tim pitched 3 shutout innings. And a play by Beckham. And your reports for the attendance for that first game were through the roof, right?
Yeah, 7,000 people in a stadium that holds 6,000.
That's great. So how does the tournament work? Is it double elimination?
Yes.
Okay, so
yeah, I know that it used to be. I think they've got it whittled down now to about 6 or 8 teams. So I don't know if it's still double elimination. But all on one field, and there was a 20-second pitch clock, and literally played around the clock to get all the games in. You did not want to be in the losers bracket. But what a shot in the arm for this tournament, which was the most prestigious tournament, summer tournament for semi-pro collegiate leagues years ago. Cape Cod League kind of stole some of its thunder. So did I think a Woodbat League in the Carolinas. But the NBC tournament in Wichita was always the place for scouts to go see collegiate players that were not yet draft eligible.
I just love the fact that Adam LaRoche and all of his pals want to get together and play again. And as exciting and fun as it is for them, what a thrill it must be for those other players on the other teams to really see how good they measure up to former major league players. Great story. Another chance for VR. He scoops and fires. 2 outs. A.J. Pierzynski's the batter. Both pitchers getting the ball on the ground in this hitter-friendly park. That's why we've got a 2-1 game. Markakis homered in the second. Matt Kemp with a single past Chris Carter at first brought home Freddie Freeman in the 4th. The Brewers run scored on a Kean Broxton hit. Hernan Perez scored.
.72-mile-an-hour breaking ball there.
If you can throw strikes, you don't have to throw 97 miles an hour. It helps. This guy tops out 90, 91, as you said. Moves the ball all around the zone, changes speeds real well.
Yeah, just missed down and away, came up and in.
He's won 9 games for a Brewers club that's won 49. Fly ball right center field. That's pretty well hit. That ball is up toward that wall, and it's over that wall. A.J. Pierzynski has hit a solo homer with 2 outs. his second long ball of the year. And the Braves bats are booming. Another homer. It's a 3-1 game now.
How about that? When AJ hit his first homer this year, I teased him in the clubhouse. I said, you know, you took your sweet time on that trot around the bases. And I said, almost like you were saying, well, this may be the last one. And he says, you never know. Well, here's number 2. And on a changeup to right center, he enjoyed that trot too.
And a line drive by Whalen into center field. So Rob Whalen picks up his first major league hit. A homer and a single. And the lineup heads back to the top. It's a 3-1 score, and that ball will be headed to Bo Porter and to Rob Whalen's locker. Oh, the old fake him out trick. Throw it in the stands. And Jeff Porter, Braves athletic trainer, will be the guardian of that very special souvenir for Whalen. Ender Inciarte 0 for 2 tonight. He's seen 3 pitches. The fourth of the night is called a strike. There's Inciarte trying to extend his hitting streak to 19 games. Is it just me, or is this crowd very quiet tonight?
Very. Team's been on the road. Weird starting time. Fans had to cut their tailgate a little short, so not quite as rowdy.
Hadn't thought of that part, but you're right. A line drive, base hit. Inciarte's got a 19 gamer, a new career high. He hit that like a bullet to left. 3 straight hits with 2 outs.
Trying to run that one a little bit away, and it had too much of the plate. If Ender tries to pull that, that's probably an easy ground out to second.
So here are your current hitting streaks in Major League Baseball. The longest this season. That's brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Keep it going. That baby up to about 45 games and gets everybody's attention.
There you go.
That's wee Willie Keeler.
So Davies has run into 5th inning trouble. A run in on 3 hits. Braves have out-hit the Brewers 6-3. Lead in the run column 3-1. And Ibar will try to extend his streak to 13 games. He's grounded out and took a called 3rd.
Davies' last start came at San Diego. He pitched into the 6th inning. Only gave up 2 runs, but came out and won the ball game 3-2.
Yeah, this is the first time he's given up more than 3 earned runs since June 30th when the Dodgers clocked him for 6. Broken bat grounder to Jeanette. The sinker worked, and that will retire the side. A.J. Pierzynski hit his 2nd homer. Rob Whalen picked up his first big league hit. He now leads the game 3-1. Fifth inning, start number 2 for Rob Whalen has been very, very impressive.
A bunch of strikeouts with that heavy sinker that Paul Bird was talking about earlier. He got 2 in the first inning. Good breaking ball there to get Jeanette. Good sinker changeup perhaps that got Carter looking. He's just been on fire here compared to the way he got started over in Atlanta. And got his first major league base hit this inning.
So Whalen with 6 strikeouts through 4 innings. In case you wondered what the Braves' rookie record for strikeouts in a game is, Mike Minor punched out 12 in August of 2010.
Is that against the Cubs?
I believe it was.
Seems like it was.
And he's got a strikeout-prone man leading off, Chris Carter, who took strike 3 his first time up. A little low, 1-0 your count. Three more with the Brewers in Milwaukee, then we're off to Washington for our first look at the Nationals in a long time. Braves in excellent shape to try to take 3 of their first 4 games on the trip. They lead tonight 3-1, middle innings. Don't want to walk this guy. Mile high pop, that's headed for the stands. And a fan from Tomahawk, Wisconsin made the play.
Sister city of the Atlanta Braves. Pete Van Wieren, Glenn Diamond went to Tomahawk to celebrate their selection as the sister city. Should have seen Glenn riding down the middle of Tomahawk, Wisconsin on a Harley Davidson. Big hog. The Harley was nice too.
Popped up. I was going to say I didn't know they made sidecars that small. Same spot. That fan from Sargento, Wisconsin made the play. He lost Carter, and that's Whalen's first walk tonight. And Keon Broxton will be the hitter.
And a leadoff walk at that.
The Braves have been very, very proud, and rightfully so, of the way that they have revamped their minor league system, rated by some as the top farm system in Major League Baseball. With this flurry of trades the Brewers have made, with the young players they have coming up, they have received a lot of accolades too. In fact, they're rated as having 8 of the top 100 prospects in the game now.
That's impressive. They got a guy from Texas that just lit up Colorado Springs, named Brinson.
Lewis Brinson. He's an outfielder.
First game is 4 for 4, I think, with a homer. The next game he had a grand slam. He's on fire. Might see him up here pretty quick.
The other pitcher in that deal was Luis Ortiz, a right-handed pitcher, and there's a player to be named later that's coming to Milwaukee in that trade as well. No balls and a strike. A shot to right. Markakis is there and makes the play, and Carter has to hurry back to first. You're right. That subtle change for Broxton has the ball jumping off his bat. He looks like a totally different player.
He does, and he's on top of the ball better. I think the problem was that he was trying to uppercut too much with that pitch that he had in his swing. It's paying dividends for him. Good athlete.
He's talking things over with Pat Murphy, who's one of the Brewers coaches. Longtime friend of Craig Counsell, the Brewers skipper. Maldonado struck out his first time up.
Yes, he did.
You're right. That's Kerwin Danley at first base. He'll have the plate here tomorrow night. Swing and a drive, center field deep. Enciarte back. As far as he can go, it is gone. Maldonado with a home run to straightaway center, and Bernie the Brewer makes his first slide of the series. Just like that, we're tied at 3. That sounded like a rifle shot.
Yeah, that had a bad sound to it. That sinker got launched. But you feel like anymore that if it stays in the park, Ender's going to catch it. That one didn't.
So Milwaukee has new life, and so does Zach Davies. It's a 3-3 game. And the Brewers pitcher takes inside, 1 ball, no strikes. And A.J. Pierzynski out for a quick visit. Second homer allowed by Whalen in his brief career. So let's stop the bleeding right here, get the pitcher, and get out of the inning. 3, 4, and 5 coming up for the Braves in the 6th. To second, and Beckham's got it, 2 down. So Maldonado's 5th homer to straightaway center. He's checking the sweet spot. As VR comes up for a 3rd time, he has struck out twice. VR was originally with the Phillies. They signed him as an undrafted free agent in 2008. He went to Houston with Anthony Gose and Jay Happ for Roy Oswalt. Mentioned him earlier. And then Milwaukee traded right-handed pitcher Cy Snead to the Stros for VR. You can understand that deal from Houston's perspective of all the young infielders they have. That situation was pretty crowded. So new home, playing every day, playing well. And he's ahead in the count 3-0, and he's a threat to steal if you put him on. Ball strike. VR flipped the bat away. He was ready to take a walk.
It's the 2nd or 3rd time he's complained tonight.
At the knees, full count. Little tapper, tough play. Ibar playing deep, bare hand try. VR legs it out. Another infield hit for Milwaukee. Ryan Braun had the first one. VR has the second. He's got a 6-game hitting streak.
Yeah, unfortunately, one of the byproducts of a good sinker are a lot of baseballs that are just beaten straight into the ground, like this one, like the one Braun had, and with VR's speed, very little chance to get him.
So let's see if VR's running. 43 steals in 55 tries. Garcia's 0 for 2. A couple of groundouts. And I misspoke earlier when I told you he was 21. He just had a birthday. He's 22 now. His birthday August 4th. Garcia AA hit .307, 8 homers, 69 RBIs, stole 25 bags last year. He was their minor league player of the year. And a couple of years ago, the Brewers got quite a scare because this kid fractured his right ankle. He slid into second base during an extended spring training game in April of 2012 and missed the whole season. But he's back and in the big leagues. In a tie game tonight. Runner at first, 2 outs. VR extends his lead.
Yeah, he was going. Good idea by Whalen to step off.
Another half step. Another half step. He's going. The pitch is a ball. The throw to second is not in time. 44 steals for VR. And he's in scoring position. And the count 2-0 to the Brewers shortstop.
Just as well that he was stealing. That was a hanging breaking ball that Garcia may have done some damage on it where he's not protecting the stealer.
VR's going to try to take third. The pitch a strike. The throw to third is late.
I know it sounds like a very simple thing, but you got to make a guy stop. He actually had a walking lead at first where he was still moving and creeping, and Whalen went to the plate. Same thing there. He was hoping to get some momentum by having his right foot continue to kind of sidestep off the bag. You got to make him stop.
So the count 2 balls and a strike. A little more pressure on the Braves defense now. As that one's fouled at the plate. And the count evens up. A leadoff walk got things started. A line out by Keon Broxton. And Maldonado homered to straightaway center. PR leg down at infield hit. He's stolen second. He's stolen third. He's 90 feet away with the go-ahead run. And the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And Whalen has his 7th strikeout. Milwaukee, though, gets a homer from their catcher, Martin Maldonado. New game as we go to the 6th. Okay, Jerome, thank you very much. The Marlins a game ahead of the Cardinals in the wild card standings. And Jose Fernandez trying to go to 27-2 on his home mound lifetime. Giants losing the game with Johnny Cueto on the mound. And they're without Bruce Bochy tonight. The Giants skipper fell ill today and was admitted to a Miami hospital. He will not manage the game. The Giants do not specify what sent the 61-year-old manager to the hospital. But they said he's resting comfortably and will be monitored overnight. As Freddie Freeman rolls out to start the 6th inning.
That's got to be disturbing for the Giants, who are already got enough going on to worry about. Well, I got another report from ace reporter.
Oh, Kim. All right, what's going on now?
Hudson. The Stars were down 2-0. Jack Wilson doubled. Pete Orr singled him in, and Adam LaRoche hit a 2-run homer.
It's about time.
3-2 Stars.
Adam was 0 for 5 in the first game, right?
Yeah, they almost kicked him off the team.
So he knew it was time to produce. Matt Kemp, the batter, in a 3-3 game, and out of play off the screen.
We've got a heck of a team together,
right?
Man.
Now, generally speaking, how old are those kids that are playing in that tournament?
College age.
Okay, college age kids. Matt Kemp flips the bat, drives one to shallow right. Jeanette can't get it. And Matt Kemp with a blooper is aboard with his 2nd hit of the game. And the Braves have a man aboard with 1 out. So let's say you're playing and pitching in that tournament. You're a Division II, Division III college player, and you're hopeful of a career in baseball. And all of a sudden you stand in, oh, that's Dan Uggla. Oh, that's Adam LaRoche. Oh, that's Jack Wilson. Every single one of those guys former big league players.
And good ones.
Bet you there's some knee knocking going on in the mound.
Yeah.
A homer and a double play from Markakis tonight. It's in the dirt. And Maldonado out to talk to Davies. Single runs for the Braves in the second, fourth, and fifth. Milwaukee scored a run in their second, and the Maldonado homer tied it up a moment ago.
That may have been what Maldonado was reminding him of. Pitch to contact. That's his game, just like Whalen's.
Down the left field line. That's headed for the stands.
One of the unique features about Miller Park, if you've never watched a game here or on television from here, is that this roof closes from a pivot right behind home plate. Closes kind of like a clamshell together. Doesn't rotate or doesn't roll from one side to another. Very neat. Good swing. Nick was on that.
Two balls, two strikes. Ooh.
No, he didn't.
And it's full now. Well, this is the situation we faced in the fourth inning. Braves put Matt Kemp in motion. Nick grounded the ball on a big hop to second. Kemp had to hold up, otherwise the ball would have hit him running the bases. Let's see if he's put in play again.
Why not?
He's going, and Nick grounds again to second. They're going to go to second again for one. On to first, two. A carbon copy double play.
Golly.
Unbelievable. 4-6-3 and out go the Braves in the sixth.
6 almost got ran over by a bratwurst here in the corner. I got to tell you this, guys, I'm supposed to be going up on the rock climbing wall or go down the slide and entertain you. I can't. You know why? The guy on the mound, Rob Whalen, I'm a huge fan. Getting him from the Mets, trading Kelly Johnson and Juan Uribe, also getting John Gant in that deal. I just want to tell everybody, I am extremely impressed with his sinker, his slider, and his curveball. I think he is a frontline starter. I don't care what he does the rest of the game. I don't care how high his ERA is. This guy's the real deal. Back to you, Chip and Joe.
He's pitching a great game. You're right, Paul. 7 strikeouts, and he just got a ground ball from Ryan Braun. And there's the first out on 1 pitch. Braun's 1 for 3.
Paul, if there's one thing that you've noticed that you'd say, okay, I'd like to see him do this a little differently. Is anything jumped up, or are you satisfied with what you see?
It's really hard to throw a good sinker and a curveball combination. Most guys that have a good 12-6 curveball have a high fastball combination. They work off each other. So when I see a power sinker at 90 where the bottom falls out, then I see a curveball that he can control, also throwing that pitch, and then he's mixed in a slider. Now, I haven't seen a great changeup, but I don't know that he needs one if he's going to throw those 3 pitches for strike. That's something for later. You guys talked about he just turned 22. Now, most important thing, he's an incredible competitor. I see him bow his neck and jams and make the pitches. And let's not forget, this is the 2nd toughest place to pitch in all of baseball. Right. I really like this guy.
Well, that's why that sinker plays in parks like this. Keep it on the ground. It's hard to hit it over the fence unless you're using a 1-iron. And Maldonado, the only Brewer to do that tonight. And Scooter Gennett's the batter. He is struck out, and he's hit into a double play. He's going to ground out to second with a clean throw to first. Just like that, 2 outs. 8 ground outs, 7 strikeouts, 1 flyout for Whalen tonight. Davies, his mound opponent, 12 ground outs. So both pitchers may force the Brewers grounds crew to resod the infield after this one. And here's Perez, the Brewers right fielder. He singled, stole a base, and scored in inning number 2. 3-3 game. Good game tonight in Milwaukee. If this year's season history is any indication, there's no surprise this game is close in the middle innings. Braves lost 2-1, 3-2, and 6-2 to Milwaukee back in Atlanta.
Yeah, 5 runs. That's all they scored. One of those was extra innings.
Popped up into right. Markakis slows, and he's there. Nice recovery inning for Rob Whalen. 3 up, 3 down for Milwaukee, and we head to the 7th. For Craft Beer Night, Friday, August 19th, the Braves take on the Nationals, and you can enjoy a selection of craft beer from local Atlanta breweries. Go to braves.com/brews for all the details about this ticket package. 3-3 after 6. And Adonis Garcia, the first Braves hitter. Adonis is 0 for 2 tonight. Both outs on the ground. 1 to second, 1 to third. And Maldonado got that call. 0-2. Did Maldonado get hit on the recoil there?
He might have, because he had to reach. Adonis almost had to fight that off, so it was a short follow through close to the catcher. Might have gotten him on the arm. Oh, and he set up inside too. Fight it off. Did they get him on a glove? Yeah.
And Garcia swings and misses at a ball in the dirt. So Davies has his third strikeout tonight. One man down for Gordon Beckham. This young man is a pretty impressive pitcher. 9-4, a 3.57 ERA coming in. And as we told you, tied for the best big league record since May 1st at 9-1.
His ERA after his first 3 starts was 8.78. So it's taken him a while to whittle it down.
A shot to VR at third, who makes the play. Diving to his right. Beckham's retired. 2 out.
Yeah, it's kind of luck that Gordon's been hitting into. His average has taken a beating since he came back from the disabled list, but a lot of it's because of that.
Jace Peterson's grabbed a bat. If A.J. Pierzynski can reach, Ryan Snitker would pinch hit for Rob Whalen. Let's see what the Atlanta catcher can do. He homered last time up.
Again, not afraid to pitch inside. Keep the left-handed hitters honest and then work something away. Change up for his sinker.
Into center field. That'll get down for a base hit. So Pierzynski keeps the inning alive with his second hit of the game. And Jace Peterson will hit for Rob Whalen, who went 6 innings of 3-run ball tonight.
It's not AJ's first rodeo either, by the way. Pitch inside, and then, gee, I wonder where he might go next. He was all over that pitch. Trying to run it away. Did. AJ banged it to center. I'd forgotten, but this is the place where they feel the need to play organ music or music of some kind between every pitch.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anybody falling asleep.
Whalen 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs earned, a walk, 7 strikeouts, and a homer.
Great outing.
And that's taken low. 1 ball, no strikes. Jace is looking for his second pinch hit of the year. He's 1 for 11 so far.
Yeah, that feature we did at the beginning of the ball game about all these guys in the lineup that are contributing now, Jace certainly could have been on that list as well with the work he's turned in since he came back from Gwinnett. When he's been at the top of the order leading off, his on-base percentage has been really good.
He's been on base with a hit or a walk in each of his last 14 games. Popped up left side. Arcia is there, and he makes the play to retire the side. 7th inning stretch in Milwaukee. We're still tied.
Is sponsored by Georgia Power and Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience sports.
Well, one of the attractions in Milwaukee this time of year is the Wisconsin State Fair, and our crew got together last night. Paul Bird, Arbuckle Jenkins, Chase Darno down the slide. Bumper car action. Paul Bird was a madman with the bumper cars.
That's a shocker. We toss balls into the frog bog there.
Yeah, that's a fishing pole deal.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, you got to pull the frog out, and
okay,
you win a prize. Brian Woodrum, our AD and producer, won the largest Wisconsin basketball you've ever seen in your life.
Huh.
And I can't wait for him to ask Chris Van Zandt where he can put that on the airplane.
Let's see.
Have a pretty good idea of what Chris will say. As Chris Carter faces Jose Ramirez in the Brewers' 7th 3-3 game.
Well, it's ironic that he won that big basketball, because from what I've seen and heard about you guys playing your basketball games is that the ball's not big enough when Brian's playing. He's got to have the big one.
Fastball high. There it is.
Congratulations, Brian.
It's funny. None of the crew said that last night when he won that prize. And if you like fried food, the Wisconsin State Fair is for you. Strike 3. Carter's retired. Ramirez off to a good start. 1 away. They had cheese curds, fried mozzarella, French fries, fried chicken, fried Twinkies, fried Snickers, fried butter.
Fried Twinkie.
Pretty good from all reports. So if you notice the replays and the graphics popping in a little faster than normal. The sugar high hasn't worn off quite yet. Deep fried strawberry shortcake. That was pretty popular too amongst our crew. And Chase Darno came and hung out with us.
That's nice. I saw him going ever competitive going down the slide. Paul Bird's in. He could break that bumper car in half.
Check swing roller foul. It's 0-2 to Broxton.
See, I don't think it's a good idea to play bumper cars with anyone from Atlanta who has to drive in Atlanta traffic.
Everybody got to take a little aggression out last night. They had some rides, man, that I got the willies just looking at people riding them. Flipping and spinning and twirling. Speaking of twirling, Ramirez strikes out his second man in a row. 2 outs. They had one of those boardwalk games where you take a baseball and you get to throw it glass bottles. And if you break 2 of the glass bottles in a row, you get 3 tosses, and you have to break 2 bottles in a row, and you get this gigantic stuffed animal that you have to carry around the whole time. That was Paul Bird's game. But Paul threw too many strikes. He couldn't hit the target, and the balls were ricocheting back into the crowd and just smoking people getting ready to take their turn. But it was a beautiful night in West Allis, Wisconsin. Got there too late for the pig races, though. That was kind of disappointing. I want to see that.
Is that anything like the Bulls running at Apollonia?
I've heard it's pretty close. 1-1 count. And that just missed. But they certainly know their audience at that fair. About every 15 feet, there's a different beer vendor. And about every 20 feet, there's a different bratwurst vendor. Top fly foul out of play by Maldonado, the villain tonight. He's hit a 2-run homer to tie the game. When we get to the 8th, the Braves will have the top of the order coming up. To short. Ibar's got it, and his throw to first is in plenty of time, and Ramirez with a clean 1-2-3 7th inning. Let's hope Chase Darno can slide home at some point tonight. 3-3 game. I know, so's Arbuckle Jenkins. This is one of the swing rides. Now look at this. Could you do this one?
No.
Me either. Look at that. Look how high in the air they were. No way, Jose.
Very nice, very nice.
That's not what he was saying. He was screaming when that thing was twirling around 50, 60 feet above the ground. Right, Paul?
Yeah. It looked tough at the end, guys, but you're right on, Chip. It's a little higher when you get up there, it looks like. But you're right, I was in a food coma till I got up on there, and that dislodged all the cheese curds and the buttered corn in my stomach when I went around the swing, got me back going so that I could, you know, do the bottle toss a little later.
You know, the way Paul's brain spins around, I don't think that affected him at all.
Might be right.
Yeah, that's one of those where once you start, you can't tell the guy to stop, to get off, because you're too high. Nobody can hear you. So better be sure before you go on there because you're committed.
This is Corey Knebel on the pitch for Milwaukee.
A little different than the guy before him. This guy's 94 to 97 with a curveball.
Ender Inciarte extended his hitting streak to a career best 19 games with a 5th inning hit. And he thought that was way high at 95 miles an hour, and he's letting Mark Rippiger know it. Looks like he was right. And it's 1-2.
Guy's on a pretty good roll. He's retired 13 straight batters. A 1.29 ERA since he was called up backup on July 15th.
Swing and a miss. Inciarte strikes out. 95-mile-an-hour gas retired him. 1 out. Knebel from Leander, Texas. Was originally selected by the Tigers. He went to Texas for Joakim Soria in 2014. And then when Giovanni Gallardo was traded to the Rangers, Knebel was one of the main pieces that came back. Might have been born to play in Milwaukee. His hobbies include fishing, golfing, cooking, and brewing beer.
Yeah, I'd say.
So he's definitely in the right place.
His catcher may have cost him that last pitch.
Ground ball, that's going to sneak through for a 1-out hit. Ibar has a 13-game hitting streak now. So both Inciarte and Ibar's long hitting runs continue. And now Freddie Freeman's the batter with a man aboard and 1 out.
Always like having guys on base in front of Freddie.
He won the Creative Sliding Award for this game. Play that turns out to be a very big play tonight. A 4th inning double. He overslid the bag, took out the second base umpire, but somehow got back ahead of the tag. And then he scored on Matt Kemp's base hit to right. As we told you, the Braves are playing good baseball right now. They've won 8 of their last 12 games. And are 10-12 since the All-Star break. 9 more hits for them this evening. Braves hitting .275 as a club since the break, second highest average in baseball. And you score 5 runs a game, you're going to win a lot of games. And that's the average over the last dozen.
Brewers have won 8 out of 13, and they've hit now 20 homers in their last 22 games.
Two balls, one strike. And time was called as Knebel took too much time. Nice stop. 3 balls and a strike, though.
They've still got their shift on for Freddie. They've got Jeanette plugging up the hole on the right side. And Arcia right behind the bag. Fastball away. Maybe he'll take it away and hit it through the left side.
Skied foul, and the count's now full. There's a happy fan. Ground ball right to Jeanette. Long throw to second, long throw to first, double play. The Braves have hit into 3 double plays tonight. The Brewers getting a lot of ground ball outs in this game. Bottom of the 8th, tied up. Field Saturday, August 20th for a free post-game concert, part of the Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines Summer Concert Series. Field passes are on sale for just $20. Go get them at Braves.com/Tori Kelly today. Joe Simpson, Paul Bird, Chip Carey from Milwaukee as we've reached 8:30 Central Time. Kirk Neuenhuis pops up the first pitch. He sees it as straightaway left field. And Matt Kemp puts the squeeze on that. Ramirez has set down his first 4 Brewer hitters.
Want another update?
You bet.
From Ace Cub reporter Kim Hudson. Stars had an extra run score on a throwing error. Brad Penny is in to pitch. Just received a bases loaded walk. They're up 5-2. Ryan Langerhans just laid out and made a diving catch. And pass the Advil, please.
For Kim or for them?
I'm not sure.
Oh, man. Good game in Milwaukee. 3-3, bottom of the 8th inning. Here's where it gets dicey for Ramirez. You got the speedster VR with 1 out. And he skies 1 to left. Right at Kemp again. So far so good for the Braves bullpen core. They have been excellent in the month of August by and large. 5 earned runs in 22 innings now. 16, make it 18 strikeouts counting Ramirez's work. And a 2.21 ERA entering tonight's play. So here's Arcia. 0 for 3. Game 2 tomorrow night. First pitch 8:10 Eastern time. Braves live at 7:30 Eastern. Tyrell Jenkins and Willie Peralta will match up. The Brewers starter was supposed to be Junior Guerra, but he's come up with a bum elbow.
He's never pitched this much before, and it's taken its toll on him. Big Willie Peralta will go instead.
2 balls, no strikes. And driven to right. Markakis turns. That ball is off the wall. Arcia on his way to second, and he'll slide in with a double. He hit it a ton, but it died at the outfield fence. So he's in scoring position, and 2 are out.
He didn't get it high enough. He hit it hard enough. Fastball. I thought it might get out of here. I think so did he as he went into his trot there. And right off that screen in that little area of right field that juts out.
So here's Ryan Braun. He has struck out, grounded out, and has legged out an infield hit. And the Braves won't pitch to him. Speaking of sore elbows, as you see Scooter Gennett. We didn't mention earlier the Braves had to place Chris Withrow on the 15-day disabled list with right elbow inflammation. Chaz Rowe joined the ball club, or was supposed to. Talked to Brian Snitker before the game, and he said Chaz wasn't scheduled to arrive at the ballpark until about 6 o'clock. He got caught up in all the airline issues in Atlanta. So I'm assuming that Chaz has gotten here, so he's wearing number 50. And might be available to pitch if he's needed tonight.
Yeah, it was a good day not to be flying in or out of Atlanta.
So Braun's intentionally walked. Scooter Gennett, the Brewers cleanup man, is 0 for 3 tonight.
Quick update from Roger McDowell and scouting report. And some translation there from Eric Ibar.
So here's Scooter batting cleanup for just the 2nd time this year for Milwaukee. 2 on, 2 out. That's a good way to start.
Well, it's great to get ahead, and especially to blow one right by him. Pretty good average with 2 out runners in scoring position.
Fast runner at second. Braun runs well at first. 96 miles an hour, and Scooter was late. It's 0-2. Struck him out on 3 pitches, and they got harder as the sequence went on. 94, 96, that one 97, and the Brewers are done in the 8th inning. Ramirez with 3 strikeouts as we go to the 9th. Now it's time for our T-Mobile greater coverage of baseball. Let's check out with a minor league update for the Mississippi Braves.
How about Dustin Peterson? We've been mentioning his name all year long, and what a season he's had at Mississippi, leading the league in hits, doubles, 4th in average. And for Carlos Franco, Southern League Player of the Year, he had a good week. 10 for 20 with a lot of damage. So stay hot, guys, right through the end of the year.
Let's hope a Braves hitter can get hot as we head to the 9th inning. The Braves will face Tyler Thornburg. He too has been effective out of the Milwaukee bullpen.
Well, he's the new closer, in effect, after Jeffress was traded to Texas.
He's the 3rd pitcher of the game. Davies, Knebel, and Thornburg now. Matt Kemp will greet him. Matt has a couple of hits and a 4th inning run batted in. Once Jeffress was traded to Texas, it makes sense to have this guy close games. From May 19th to June 7th, he retired 26 batters in a row, a franchise record for relievers, and tied with Teddy Higuera for 3rd overall on the franchise list in that category. A lot of strikes, a lot of outs. That's exactly what you want your closer to give you. His first big league save came in May against the Cubs.
Went to Riverwood High School in Georgia. Graduated from there. He lives now in Charlotte.
Back to the screen and right off our microphone. The attendance tonight announced at 20,976. of the 2-2 pitch. Struck him out at 95 miles an hour. Thornburg gets the leadoff man.
Both bullpens have had guys come out throwing gas tonight. Knebel, Ramirez, and now Thornburg.
Well, the last time Nick batted with nobody on base in this game, he hit a home run. The other 2 times he hit into carbon copy double plays. 4-6-3. See if he can go deep and put the Braves in front. 0-1. Milwaukee is 15-20 this year in 1-run games. The Braves are 12-16.
Boy, did he turn on that pitch. And over that fenced-in area.
His 7th homer of the year. Now he's behind in the count, 1-2. Swing and a miss. That was an interesting pitch. Maldonado was signaling with his glove. He wanted that thing letter higher, higher. Look at where it ended up.
Yeah, knee high on the black.
So 2 are out. Adonis Garcia is hitless tonight. Did he go? He did not.
Somehow able to stop that bat. But he didn't hurt himself. That's hard to do.
To short. Garcia loads up. And the inning is over. Thornburg got the Braves in order. And we head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Perez, Carter, and Broxton coming up. August 18th, get the one-of-a-kind Andrew Jones, the catch bobblehead. Don't want to miss this one. Go to Braves.com/tickets and get your seats today. Our battle of the bullpens moves to the bottom of the 9th inning. Our game tied 3 apiece. Next man out of the chute is right-hander Mauricio Cabrera.
What a good job by Jose Ramirez. 2 innings of 1-hit shutout ball, 3 strikeouts. Mauricio's getting better and better every time out. He got a day off yesterday and he needed one. He'd been pitching quite a bit. He of the triple-digit fastball.
So Hernan Perez leads off for the Brewers. He singled, stole a base, and scored their first run all the way back in the 2nd inning. Davies and Whalen started. Neither starter will factor in the decision after giving up 3 runs tonight. Ball 1 and 100.
Let me get your attention.
You think he said it?
Probably did. He didn't hit the bull, he hit the bobblehead sign back there.
And he missed again. 2 balls, no strikes. And Perez has stolen 20 bases this year, so you got to make him swing the bat. Nice and easy at 99 for a strike. Off the pitcher's glove. Throw to first is still in time. Cabrera slowed it down just enough to save a leadoff hit. That's a 1-4-3 put out to take care of Perez.
Yeah, you're right. That was going into center field. Nice play by Gordon to recover and get him.
So power versus power here with Chris Carter up there. He's walked, scored, struck out twice. A 25 home run man, 18 of them on his home field. And he was right on that fastball at 101 miles an hour and fouled it straight back. Dangerous man in a dangerous spot.
Now, because he doesn't have to get all of it. As strong as he is and as hard as Cabrera throws, he doesn't have to hit it on the sweet spot and still hit a home run. Any chance of that 91 changeup here.
Swing and a drive deep left center field. Kemp, as far as he can go, has room. The roof panels are open and the flags show the wind is blowing in. That might be all that saved Cabrera here in the 9th.
I can't believe that didn't travel out of this ballpark. At 102, fastball up, nice easy swing. Not enough.
So a big sigh of relief for the moment as Keon Broxton hits with 2 outs. And a strike at the knees. That's headed for the press box. And Buxton's down to his last strike.
.103 on the Brewer board.
Wow. Brewer has the highest average fastball velocity, even faster than Aroldis Chapman. This is his fastest pitch so far, the 2-2. Buxton had it covered. Braves Live, presented by Xfinity, will follow us from Milwaukee. We're in the 9th, tie game, 2 outs. Swing and a miss. The ballpark just big enough to hold a deep drive to left center field by Chris Carter. Mother Nature helps out the Braves. Let's see if Atlanta can take advantage. Free baseball tonight in Milwaukee.
Jack Link's Beef Jerky all season long. Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Feed your wild side.
Bonus panels in Milwaukee tonight. We head to the 10th inning. 3-3 is your score. And a couple of changes for Milwaukee. Ramon Flores takes over in right field. And a man that the Braves had in spring training is Carlos Torres. See, Hernan Perez moves to first base. Carter's out of the game. Carlos Torres picked up a couple of saves against the Braves down in Atlanta. And he's on a nice pitching run for Milwaukee. 7 straight scoreless appearances.
Yeah, there are people telling me that he's really been a valuable addition to their team after being picked up, I think, on waivers after he was DFA'd by the Braves. So good for Torres that he found a place and a home. Tons and tons of cut fastballs.
Flores will hit 9th. Torres will hit in Carter's spot. That's 6th. As Gordon Beckham leads off the Braves' 10th inning. And he drives one toward right. Flores on the run. Still going. Slowing now on the track. And he's got it for the first out. Let's see if Carlos leaves one of those cutters in the happy zone for A.J. Pierzynski. The Braves catcher has a couple of hits, including a 5th inning homer that gave the Braves a 3-1 lead. The Brewers catcher Martin Maldonado hit a 2-run homer in the 5th. That tied it up at 3 apiece versus Rob Whalen. Milwaukee has a shift. And AJ's ready to go. Good cut, fouled back though. It's 0-2.
So that was 92 miles an hour. That's pretty much where he sits, 90 to 94. Mixes in a curve just as a show piece every once in a while, but it's cutters otherwise.
9 o'clock in Milwaukee. It's 3-3 in the 10th. Jeff Francoeur's grabbed a bat. He'll be the next Atlanta hitter. Two and two. Grounded to Arcia, who is in the shift, and that takes care of AJ. 2 outs, and Jeff Francoeur the batter. Milwaukee's bullpen has faced the minimum starting with the 8th inning. See if Jeff can keep it alive for Ender Inciarte, who will move to the on-deck circle. Braves are 7-9 in extra inning games this year. Milwaukee has 2 wins and 5 losses. They'll have the 8, 9, and 1 spots coming up in the bottom of the inning. Look out.
So I could hit right in the middle of some empty seats, or maybe in an aisle.
So those guys got an unexpected surprise and souvenir from Jeff Francoeur. Nothing in 1 the count. That's exactly where Maldonado wanted that pitch.
Perfect pitch, really. Cutter to start it at the outside corner and then have it move off the plate. Jeff didn't offer.
Swing and a miss. Milwaukee's bullpen has struck out 4 of the 9 hitters they have faced tonight, and they go to bat in the bottom of the 10th. Out of the 10th inning, Martin Maldonado in the 5th did serious damage.
It had that sound. Like I said, if it stays in the park, you feel good about Inciarte catching it. But that one sailed out of here.
So Brandon Caniff is on to pitch. He will face Maldonado, Flores, and then VR.
And second outing for Caniff since he got called back up.
First misses low to the Brewers catcher. Might recall Brandon began his career with 7 consecutive hitless outings. That was an Atlanta era franchise record at the time. And when he got the call from Gwinnett, had a nice run going there too. 8 1/3 scoreless innings with 11 strikeouts. Hope that good fortune continues here in the 10th. Pitched 2 career innings against Milwaukee. No hits, runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts.
Well, the Cardinals' problems continue. They're getting shut out tonight by Cincinnati.
What's up with that team? This was supposed to be the time when the Cardinals put the accelerator to the floor and made their move. They're moving, but the wrong direction.
Well, if they don't have, and we saw Garcia at his best, if they don't have Garcia, Martinez, and Wainwright carrying the load, then they are in big trouble. And the Braves clobbered Martinez, jumped on Wainwright.
And tonight it's Michael Wacha, who's been a mystery for a while.
Wacha and Leake are not carrying their share of the load.
Swing and a miss. Maldonado is down on strikes. Good start for Caniff. One away in the 10th. Back and forth game in Miami. The Marlins lead the Giants 7-6. That game's in the 8th inning down in Miami. Marlins with a 1-game lead over the Cardinals in the wild card. Mets are 2 back. Pirates 3 back. Colorado all of a sudden 4 games back. The Rockies host Texas a little later. Flores takes a strike. And he's been slumping badly. 6 hits in his last 63 at bats. But he can hit a fastball. His first major league homer came against Jacob deGrom. That was in May. Fly ball left. Kemp will have room. 2 outs. And here's VR. VR 1 for 3 with a couple of steals and strikeouts. Atlanta will have the top of the order coming up in the 11th. Look at where Freddie Freeman is playing. I mean, you want to talk about a man playing on top of the bag?
Playing in for a bunt and guarding the line. I give the Brewers scouts credit because they found a guy here, like you said, the infield situation very crowded in Houston. This guy didn't have any eye-popping numbers, but he had speed. Led his league twice in stolen bases. Has good hands. Switch hitter. You know, so there's some potential there for this guy to be someone who could step up and help you. Brewers didn't know that for sure, but boy, what a year he's had.
A real threat at the top of the order for the Milwaukee club. And VR skies one into the seats foul.
Walks a lot too. He's got a .390 on base percentage.
Coming into tonight's game, he's been on base in 18, well, including tonight's game, 18 of his last 30 plate appearances. He's reached base. 2-2. Strike three. Kniff picks up his second punch out, and Milwaukee's retired in order in the 10th. We head to the 11th. 1, 2, and 3 for Atlanta. 3-3 game.
By Jack Link's Beef Jerky all season long. Jack Link's Beef Jerky. Feed your wild side.
To the 11th we go. 3-3. NCRT, Ibar, and Freeman are coming up. Chip, Joe, and Paul with you from Milwaukee. Tip of the cap to our great Fox Sports crew. Our producer Gretchen Caney tonight. Mike Miller, our director. Brian Woodrum, our corn on the cob eater, and AD tonight. Sean Farnham, great photography, got all those great pictures from the Wisconsin State Fair. Arbuckle Jenkins handling our graphics and stats as we make our second stop on this 3-city tour, and first of 4 against the Brewers. Ender's already extended his batting streak. It's at 19 games, a new career high. He picked that up with a 5th inning single. Eric Ibar to follow, then Freddie Freeman. Jammed him, popped up toward right, and Flores puts it away. There's the first out of the inning.
I don't think the Kansas Stars will have any problem with extra innings. They lead now 8-2 thanks to a pinch hit RBI single by Tim Hudson.
Kim is doing a heck of a job reporting on the goings on in Wichita tonight.
Yeah. Ace Cub reporter. She was concerned that now Tim had to run the bases.
What did she say he said after he pitched the other night? Did he roll over and say,
Yeah, I just moaned.
1 ball, no strikes. To short. Garcia's got that. 2 outs.
Got a good arm, doesn't he?
Sure does.
All right, Freddie, do your thing. Tries to run that cutter in on you. Hit it to the Caterpillar.
Upstairs. Ball 1. Torres wants a new baseball. Everybody in the ballpark shocked that Chris Carter's batted ball in the 9th inning stayed in the park.
I think you nailed it, though. With those window panels open, flags you could see blowing in. That was a difference maker.
And that's why we're still here. Ow. Oh, Maldonado just got nailed with a foul tip.
On the foot. Where that flap of the shin guard is, but it wasn't enough.
So an even count. Base is empty. Top 11. Broken bat. And hit toward Keon Broxton in center. And he's got that. Torres 6 up, 6 down. 2, 3, and 4 for Milwaukee.
Presented by authority of the Atlanta Braves and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Atlanta Braves.
Three as we head to the bottom of the 11th. Brandon Caniff got the Brewers in order in the 10th with a couple of strikeouts. You got Arcia, Braun, and Scooter Gennett coming up. Strike 1. High bar at short. Nice pick. Perfect throw. Ryan Braun, the batter. Braves made a decision to pitch around him in the 8th inning. Scooter Gennett struck out to force a tie heading to the 9th. Braun 1 for 3 officially in the game. Coming off a 6 for 19 road trip, 4 homers. and 18 homers for the year. Find it interesting that Brian Braun with 18 home runs. He's only hit 7 of them at home. Most of his homers have come on the road. This is a great hitter's park.
Yeah, it is.
He's hitting .308, however.
If they don't win this game, they may petition to close the roof tomorrow.
Well, I know Chris Carter will. He's now out of the game. The pitch is a shot past Freddie Freeman, who dived to his left. And Ryan Braun with an opposite field hit represents the winning run. Let's see how the Brewers play it. Braun can steal a base. He's got 14 of them. Milwaukee's got a handful of steals in the game. In fact, they've got 3.
Oh, that was fortunate that he took it the other way. That was in his eyes, hanging breaking ball. They are 3 for 3 in stolen bases tonight.
Scooter Gennett's had a rough night. 0 for 4, a double play, 2 strikeouts. Milwaukee with 119 stolen bases as a team, including their 3 this evening. Swing and a miss.
Well, he's had some big swings tonight, hasn't he? They've been long swings. There's no way he was going to catch up to Cabrera when he struck out to end the 8th inning with runners at first and second. Excuse me, that was Ramirez. Ramirez just kept throwing hard, harder, and hardest.
That's upstairs, and even count. Scooter Gennett from Sarasota, Florida. Pops one into center and slams the bat down and cracked the bat as his frustrating night continues. He's 0 for 5. Braun's back to first with 2 out.
Must have gotten a good pitch to hit. Fastball. Scooter.
So 2 away in the 11th. All the offense in this game in the first 5 innings. Ramirez 2 innings of 1 hit relief. Cabrera an inning of 1 strikeout relief. Brandon Caniff has an inning and 2/3 with 1 hit allowed. Now 2-0. Perez keeps the inning alive. The pitcher's spot is next for the Brewers, and Jake Elmore has a bat. And just like that, it's 3-0.
Probably taking here. Take a chance to take one and get a walk. Move the winning run into scoring position. But he was happy.
Wow. Three balls and a strike. Full count. Perez was on his way to first.
Good pitch.
Three and two. Runner at first. Braun will take off. Pitch line to third and right at Adonis, who had to get his face out of the way as that missile was the third and final out. Perez hit a rocket to the hot corner. Milwaukee out of luck in the 11th, and we head to the 12th. Still tied up 3-3 at Miller Park. Game. It's been a fun game and a lot to talk about. 3-3 as you see the game summary as the Braves come up in the 12th.
Yeah, Martin Maldonado was the spoiler with his 2-run homer in the 5th.
So Carlos Torres out for a third inning, and Matt Kemp will be the Braves hitter. Torres has been terrific. 6 up, 6 down as he continues his good work against the Braves this year. You'll have Kemp, Markakis, and Adonis Garcia. Brewers have a shift on for Matt. 3 defenders left side of the diamond. And that's into the seats. Matt's got a couple of singles, an RBI, 2 swinging strikeouts in his 4 trips to the plate. The RBI, his 5th since coming to Atlanta. It's 1-2. Kemp wants time, and it's granted.
I mean, it's either cutter or slider, so can't be that much. It's been about location.
I don't think that's what Maldonado had in mind. And it's a full count. Nobody on or out in the 12th.
Boy, he's made a couple of pitches with his cutter on the inner half of the plate that he's lived to tell about. Naturally, the scouting report is everything's going to be breaking away from you if you're Matt Kemp, so you're thinking about trying to inside out, maybe shoot everything to right field, and that's the only thing that's kept him from just rocking those 2 pitches in. Matt not happy with that. He probably swung at ball 4.
Giants and Marlins tied at 7 in the 8th. Reds 4-0 over the Cardinals in the 7th. Rockies 2-0 over Texas in the 6th in Denver. They were tied at 3. Nobody on or out. And ball 4. Leadoff walk.
Good at bat. Let's just not make it a three-peat here on this ground ball to second, okay?
We've seen that movie, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
After Kemp singled in the 4th and 6th, Nick Markakis, with a runner going, bounced to second, and Scooter Gennett was able to start not 1 but 2 4-6-3 double plays. Markakis homered in the 2nd. That was the first run of the night. I'm guessing, and it's only a guess, if he can get Kemp to second base, maybe you see Chase Darno come and pinch run.
That's a possibility. You know, remember Matt had some ankle problems after a slide of some kind about 3 years ago. It really slowed him down.
He's running, and the pitch is cracked toward right center field. That ball is gonna get down, and it's going to bounce over the wall for a ground rule double. Had it stayed in play, Kemp would have scored easily, but even still, Markakis with another hit, and they're at 2nd and 3rd with nobody out.
Dang it. That was the cutter. Nick was all over it. Got the barrel to it. I wish he hadn't hit it so well. What a break for the Brewers. But nobody out.
So the Braves have 3 cracks to take the lead here. It starts with Adonis Garcia. He's hit the ball on the ground 3 times and has struck out once. And they will walk him, as Adonis has been as hot as anybody on this Braves club, and they'll play for a double play ball off the bat of Gordon Beckham.
Braves have already used their left-handed pinch hitter on the bench tonight, and Jace Peterson. Jeff Francoeur has also been used.
With that double, obviously no need for a pinch runner. Atlanta's going to have him loaded, and the stage is yours, Gordon Beckham.
Gordon's a guy that first faced Torres and hit that deep fly to right. You'd take another one of those, wouldn't you?
You bet.
Infield playing in, that's to his advantage. Make sure you get a good pitch to hit, knowing what the guy throws.
Ripped out of play. Strike one for Gordon Beckham. Gordon's done a nice job with the bases loaded this year. This is his 4th at bat. He's got 2 hits.
Good. Comfortable, confident.
And no place to put him. He's now ahead in the count.
And patient.
Swing and a fly ball center field. Broxton back. He's on the track. He can't hang on. Kemp will score. Markakis will go to third, and the Braves have the lead 4-3.
Boy, Gordon almost hit that ball out of here. And because it looked like Broxton was in place to catch it, you see Nick there in your screen going back to tag up. Kemp was going to score easily. Oh, yeah, that was off the glove. So Markakis was going to try to make sure he got to third with 1 out. He's upset, but he did the right thing.
So Broxton drops the ball in center field. Kemp scores after reaching via the leadoff walk. Carlos Torres is chased from the game, and Atlanta has a 4-3 lead and still nobody out in inning number 12.
Four to 3 on a drive by Gordon Beckham to center field. You see Nick going back to tag up here, looking like somewhat of a routine fly ball, and it should have been, but Broxton had to go off his glove. Everybody's going back to tag up, and everybody can only move up 90 feet. It will go as an E8 RBI, and still nobody out, and Blaine Boyer, the former Brave, comes on to pitch.
And he will pitch to A.J. Pierzynski. Again, the Brewers infield is in. The Braves have taken a 12th inning lead. A leadoff walk turns into the go-ahead run. And that's taken low. 1 ball, no strikes.
Carlos Torres was outstanding for 2 innings. The 3rd inning got him.
A.J. pops one down the third baseline into the seats. Talk all the time about the baby Braves in 2005 and Brian McCann and Jeff Francoeur. Don't forget Blaine Boyer was part of that group when he made the jump from AA Mississippi. Blaine pitched in 43 games that year and went 4-2 with a 3.11 ERA. He left the Braves in 09, went to St. Louis and Arizona. He's pitched with the Mets, in Japan, was in El Paso, Chihuahua in 2014. And last year spent the season with the Twins, pitched in 68 games, second most he's ever pitched in a big league year, and went 3-6 with a 2.49 ERA.
Didn't he sit out a year?
He did, 2012.
Yeah. Give his arm a chance to kind of recover. He's back throwing 90 to 95 with a slider.
Bouncing ball. Play at first, coming home for one. Throw to first is in time. A double play. Man, a whole lot of traffic by the first base bag on that bouncing ball. And how there wasn't a collision between the first baseman, second baseman, and base runner, I don't know. Look at that.
Hernan Perez, remember, started the game in right field, but is an infielder.
So Markakis forced at the plate. Runners at second and third now. And two men are out. Here is Chase Darno. The Braves have one extra player left. That's Anthony Recker. 4-3. Braves lead it. Let's see what Chase can do. Little pop. Perez drifts out. And what a job by Blaine Boyer. Bases loaded, gets a double play and a pop-up to limit the damage to one skinny Atlanta run. Bottom of the 12th. Braves try to close it out next. Bottom of the 12th inning, the Chief Jim Johnson is coming on. He'll try to nail it down for Atlanta and give the Braves their third victory on this road trip. Hope to talk about that with you on Braves Live, presented by Xfinity, as we play overtime tonight for a crowd of 20,976 in Milwaukee.
8 saves now for Jim Johnson. Remember, he was the National League Player of the Week just a week ago. He has been on fire. 43rd game of the year. 2-1, a 1.63 ERA, and 8 saves over his last 27 games.
He will face Andy Wilkins, who will come on and pinch hit for Blaine Boyer, who did a heck of a job. And that's a spot where the game could have gotten out of control, and Boyer got a double play and a pop out to keep it 4-3. Wilkins, Broxton, and Maldonado due for the Brew Crew. And AJ handled that.
Wilkins is a big dude.
A well-traveled player. I'll explain in a moment. Texas took him in the 25th round 9 years ago. Didn't sign. White Sox took him in the 5th round of 2010. Then he was acquired off waivers by Toronto, Los Angeles, Baltimore, Seattle, Texas, and now Milwaukee.
Good grief.
All in 1 year. All of that happened last season. Swing and a miss. Johnson off to a good start, gets the leadoff man.
Big hook. Nicely done. Good start.
By my count, the Braves staff has struck out 14 Brewers in 11 1/3 innings tonight. And that's about right. I mean,
yes, sir.
They punch out about 9 times a game. So factoring in the extras. So far, so good. Here's Broxton. Boyer bailed him out. And Keon 1 for 4, an RBI hit in the second, 2 strikeouts as well. 0-2. Jim looks sharp to this point.
He's been looking sharp. He's come in throwing strikes. He's had good life on his fastball. That breaking ball, that off-speed curveball has been excellent.
Lined into center. Broxton didn't miss an 0-2 pitch.
And he can run. 10 out of 11 stolen bases for him. That breaking ball stayed up, got hit.
And here's the man that broke Rob Whalen's heart back in the 5th inning. He hit a 2-run homer to tie it up. Runner goes, big jump, pitch a strike, throw is high and into shallow center. Beckham leaping to bring home the throw, tumbled on top of Broxton, but no advance by the Milwaukee base runner, and the Brewers have stolen their 4th base of this game.
Yeah, with this throw ticketed for center field, you can see that Broxton was trying to break the fall of Gordon Beckham. He had no idea the ball had gone into center field. So not a bad thing that Gordon put a saddle on him and kept him right there.
Tying run in scoring position for Milwaukee.
Another good fastball in on his hands. His curveball's been so good. I know he made a mistake to Broxton on an 0-2 count, but I'd like to see him try it again.
He got him. What a pitch. Good call, Joe. And Jim Johnson's an out away from salting this one away for the Braves.
That one looked like he threw it right at him. Pretty much did. His knees didn't move and buckle because he didn't take a stride. but he had nothing left on the swing.
So Ramon Flores, the last hope for Milwaukee. He flied out in the 10th. And as I mentioned, a slumping Brewers hitter. Fouled away, strike one. Six for his last 64 is Flores. Even count. And AJ wants to be sure.
Especially since they've got to go through a series of signs with a runner at second base. They don't want to have any mishaps here.
Ibar playing behind Broxton at second. Ground ball right to him. Eric's got it. Throw to first. Braves outlast the Brewers in 12 and win 4-3 tonight. What a great job by the Atlanta bullpen tonight. 6 scoreless innings pitched. The Atlanta relief corps struck out 8 men in those 6 innings, and Atlanta got a leadoff walk in the 12th inning and a drive off the bat of Gordon Beckham to earn a 4-3 victory. Atlanta 3-1 on the road trip. Good start to the series against the Brewers. We'll recap it right after this.